Hi everyone, I'm Rishabh, a chartered accountant who's passionate about helping professionals master Power BI. In today's video, we are deep diving into one of the most practical use cases of a data table in Power BI. I'll not only show how to create it, but also how it unlocks powerful insights like year to date, previous year comparisons, etc. All just in a few DAX formulas. So let's get started. Alright, let's start with the sample dataset we have here. Let me just open the file. Alright, so we have the transaction date, the customer ID, the product, the region, the quantity, the unit price, and revenue. Alright, so now in this data, we do not have any transactions for the month of December 2023 and March 2024. I'll just change the formatting to short date. I'll just sort it in sending order. I'll save the file and I guess we're good to go. Just to show you that, okay, we do not have data for December 2024. I'm sorry, December 2023, and we do not have data for March 2024. So let's get on to Power BI report view. All right, now we'll do the usual that we'll import the Excel file over to Power BI. It'll connect and then we'll see that, okay, it has sheet 1. We'll load the data. And then we have it. Like, it's loading. Yeah, okay, got it. So when we click on sheet 1 over here, we see all the data has been imported. Now, what we'll do is we'll create two tabs. So one would be without using a date table, and the other tab would be with the date table, and we're going to see how it makes the difference. So yep. So we click on a table, date table. Here we see that the transaction date, this is the format. We'll change it to short date. Click, and yep, so we're good over here. And then we'll insert a table. We'll drag transaction date, and we do not need the date hierarchy, so we'll just click on transaction date, and then we'll put down summation of revenue. So here we have it. We have the transaction date and the summation of revenue. But the problem here is that we do not have any data for the dates which are missing, that is, example, 3rd of January or 4th of January, etc. All right. Yep. So here we see we have for 3rd of January and then directly for 7th of January. All right. So now we'll create a measure for the YTD revenue. Now I'll just copy and paste the formula. You can pause it and take a screenshot of the formula, or pause the video. But yeah. So we'll just drag YTD revenue towards the columns, and yes, we'll have it. So this is the YTD revenue. But again, as we see, we do not have the YTD data as on 4th of January or 5th of January. From 3rd, we directly have it for 7th. Now we would add a measure for the previous year revenue as on the same period previous year. So this is the measure. You can, I already have it written, so you can just pause the video and so I just have it written for PY revenue. I just drag and drop it. And then again, for 2023, of course, there will be no PY revenue, but for 2024, we have missing data because see, for 6th of January 2024, there was no transaction on 6th of January 2023. So the results that we are getting here is incomplete, and we'll be only getting for the dates which existed in the previous year, but that's not how it's supposed to work. Okay, we see that there is a problem here, and that's the reason why I need a date table, which we will create shortly. But before creating the date table, we would also want to put in one more measure, that is YTD previous year revenue. So we create a new measure, put down the formula, and yes, now again we put it into our table. We will first have to click the table, and then we'll take the previous year YTD revenue from here. Got it. And again, the same problem occurs that okay, for 3rd of January we have a previous year YTD revenue because there was a transaction on 3rd of January 2023, but it's not available for the other dates. So now we are going to solve all the problems with the help of a date table. So let's go ahead and create one. For creating a date table, we first go to the modeling view, new table, and then we'll write down this particular line of code for DAX. And yes, we have our date table. You can pause and look at this code, wherein we are creating a date table from 2023 to 2025, like 1st January 2023 to December 31st 2025, and we have our date table ready, right? We can go here and check. Now here also we'll change the date format to the short date format. First we'll mark it as date table, on date, save, and then we'll click on date, and then we'll change the format, short date. Okay, yeah, we are done. Now we'll copy and paste this table so that we don't have to do all the work again. And now we have the same problem over here, right? But now I will, instead of the transaction date, I would put in the date table. So I'll remove the transaction date from here, and from the date table we will pull the date. But there's a problem, it's not actually related, so we haven't established a relationship. We'll go to the model view, and then we'll establish a relationship between our date table and our other sheet one. It'll be a one-to-many relationship, and boom, Now we go to the report view back again, and we have the date table. And there we have it. So we have our previous year revenue on the dates even when we didn't have any transaction in the current year. Now, the last thing comes down is for the previous year YTD revenue. We're gonna make similar changes. YTD revenue. Yep, we have to take data from YTD revenue too, not the first one. And then again, we change the date over here, and we are good to go. And then we'll just put it in our table. See, now we have the YTD revenue. Okay, for 2023, of course, there will be no YTD revenue, previous year YTD revenue. For 2024, we have it for each day. That's how a date table helps us, to get data of every missing date and not just the dates we have it in the transaction table. So that's the real power of a date table in Power BI. Without it, time intelligence is broken. But with it, you unlock reporting features that help drive real business decisions. If you're enjoying this Power BI series, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. So, catch you in the next one. Bye bye.